Quick, what is it? Is Smith & Wesson or is it a Taurus? You probably already know because of the title of this video. I'm Batjack JW and you're looking at a Taurus Model 80. Really neat. These are vintage Taurus revolvers that look a lot like Smith & Wesson's. And Smith & Wesson and Taurus do have a history together. That has since dissolved. But anyway, these old babies really are awesome. This Taurus revolver Model 80, you can still buy them on Gunbroker. They go for a decent price. They're under 300 bucks. And this one belongs to a friend of mine, so we decided to show it. Really neat. It's one thing I like, the wood grips are just as good as Smith & Wesson wood grips, really, to be honest with you. They're not like today where they're laminate or something. This is actually a piece of wood, I'm not a fan of the newer stuff. I still appreciate it because they're offering it, but I'm not a fan of it. Anyway, this more or less is kind of like a Model 10. It's got fixed sights, and it is 6 shots like a K-frame, and it's pretty much, like I said, it's like a Model 10 Smith & Wesson, only it's just a Taurus's take on one. Anyway, really neat revolver. My impressions on it, you guys know I'm kind of a Smith & Wesson snob, and I will say this is one that I would not mind having for sure. This is probably one of the better budget revolvers you can get, and people ask me that online all the time. They leave a comment and they say, hey, what would be a good budget revolver, or they see me review some other cheaper ones and they say, how does it stack up to the Taurus? The Taurus is by far one of the better of them all, especially these older ones. And I know a couple of my friends here on YouTube that have channels. I know you guys got a Taurus or two of revolver. Anyway, really neat. And so something neat about this one is this is a 5-screw model, and normally you hear that term being tossed around with Smith & Wesson revolvers. There's one under the grip, there's one up here, 2 more, and guess where the 5th one is? I'll give you a second. Can you tell me where the 5th screw is? It's on the trigger guard. Now that's interesting. Now here I have my Smith & Wesson Model 10. This is a 10-5. This is a snubby, but otherwise the same gun basically. Fixed sights and everything. But this is just a standard, this is not a 5-screw model. It does not have the one up there and everything like that. So it kind of give you a look at both of them side by side. But I'll break out the other one because that will really show you what I mean about 5 screws. Here's another, this is a pre-10, they call this. So it's a 6-shot K-frame Smith & Wesson. But this one has the top screw there, of course the one under the grip, the 2, and the trigger guard screw. And that's a Smith & Wesson. So kind of interesting to see, them doing that on this older Model 80. Really neat. It's a great option if you're definitely looking for a budget yet well-made blued revolver that is very much like a Smith & Wesson. One of these, you can still get some of the Model 10s pretty cheap, but if you're definitely looking for one of these, I just checked prior to doing this video. I just wanted to see if Gunbroker was still having them up there, and there's still a few up there, and they are going for definitely under 300 bucks. So not bad at all. The lockup is really tight, as good as it can get. Okay, so now it is a frame mounted firing pin. Interesting. So they did take a little bit of a different turn there. Of course, now the newer Smiths, kind of this is what they do now. So yeah, interesting. But you're not gonna have the ugly key lock on the modern Smiths that I myself do not care for, and I know a lot of people do not like them either, and it kind of drives the price up on vintage Smiths. The trigger is it is kind of wider. It's got serrations on it. It is kind of wider. Let's take a look at it compared to, yeah, definitely a little wider than your standard. This is the pre-10, And let's look at the Model 10. The Model 10, of course, yes, a little bit wider. Okay, so and the glossy finish is pretty nice on it. It's definitely, you know, it may not be exactly like a Smith, but it's pretty close. I mean, it's close enough, and you probably won't even be able to tell unless you get right up on this thing that it's not a Smith & Wesson, because it feels like a Smith & Wesson. It has the weight, everything. It looks like a Smith & Wesson, has the beautiful grips like a Smith & Wesson. And I will say, the action is amazing. I like that. Wow. You can't beat it. You really can't. Anyway, there's a close-up look at the Taurus Model 80. Very nice revolver, as I do love revolvers. And you've come to a revolver channel for sure. So this is definitely one to check out if you are interested in them. A really good option if you're looking for a budget revolver, yet you want quality, because it certainly is quality. Anyway, so check it out. We're going to be doing a video where we compare the internals on this gun to the Smith & Wesson. So stay tuned on the channel, like, share, and subscribe, and check us out for that one. Thanks for watching.